Hey guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about how to make this effect in Photoshop. Hello everyone, my name is Jacob aka Cubic and welcome to the first ever graphic design tutorial here on my channel. I hope you guys are excited. Today guys we're going to be talking about an effect that I came up with based on a previous effect that I watched a tutorial on. And what we're going to be doing is explaining how to do this effect, and more specifically, if we hide a few layers here, this effect right here, this picture of me kind of blended in with the background, kind of have a nice sort of transparent look to it. But yeah, we're going to be explaining that today, and so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we need is a transparent image. Now I'm going to be using a Rainbow 6 image. You can use any sort of image you want. You can use a picture of yourself, you can use a picture of a character. It depends upon what you're looking to do and what you're trying to accomplish, but any character that has a sort of a transparent background will work fine. So what we need to do first is we need to jump into filter and camera raw filter, and we'll let that load up. This is based off of Seso's tutorial on gradient highlights, I believe. So if you guys are looking to learn about that video and stuff, I will leave a link in the description because I don't want to take full credit for this entire sort of I guess effect. It is different. It's not exactly how his tutorial is, but I don't want to take credit for something that isn't mine. So the first part of this tutorial is basically his. So we're going to go ahead and drag our saturation all the way down, making this a black and white image. And then we're going to take our whites and we're going to bring them all the way up, and bring our blacks and take them almost all the way down, not too much though. Roughly there, and we might pull our whites back ever so slightly. We can also bump up our dehaze to add some more contrast, but basically what we're trying to do, for anybody who is a photographer that's watching right now, you know what I mean when I say blowing out the highlights. But basically what we're trying to do is take any of these bright areas on this Rainbow Six character and brighten them and blow them out. We want them to be not quite as white as possible, but pretty close. So you can use the highlights to adjust that, you can use the whites to adjust that, whatever works for you. You can also mess with the clarity slider if you like messing with that. We'll add a little bit to that, but not too much. Okay, so then we're going to hit OK, and now we have a black and white image that's very heavily contrast. Okay, and now what we're going to do is go up to select, and then we're going to go into color range. Now what we want to do is select highlights, and we want to have our fuzziness set to roughly 70. 69 works. And we want our range to be 170 to 255, depending upon where we want it to be. So if you're finding that, for example, if we're at 170 roughly, if you're finding that your character that you're trying to mask out is a very bright character to begin with, like one of the Overwatch characters, you might find that the range is not high enough, and so you're gonna find that like the mouth gets sort of keyed out, or the maybe the eyes aren't quite there, or what have you. So what we were trying to do is we're not trying to lose detail, we're just trying to get rid of some of the blown out parts, and I'll explain that more in a second. So let's hit OK. Now we have the sort of the blown out highlights selected. Now what we want to do is hit the delete key and get rid of them. Okay, so now we're left with this sort of I guess mildly transparent, has transparent aspects to it, sort of Rainbow Six character. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it, hit duplicate layer, and take it over into my Twitter banner. Okay, so let's hop over there. Alright, so now we have this character, and let's go ahead and move her around. Oops, my bad. Control T, there we go. Move her around, adjust to where we feel looks pretty good. I would say like right around here looks pretty good, and let's drop it behind. Okay, so now let's hide my original layer, and Now we're just left with this Rainbow Six character. Now I know that it's going to be kind of interesting because it's like, it doesn't look quite the same as my original, and that's because there is an effect we have to apply. And so we have to go into Layer, double click into Blending Options, and choose Color Overlay. Alright, now we want that set to black. You can set it to gray or black depending upon what you want. I like to set it all the way to black. Press OK, hit OK again, and then we're going to take our opacity and we're going to drop it to 40%. And there we go. So you can kind of mess around with this. I work in ranges of 20s, so it's either 20% or 40%, or if you like a little bit more of a heavier contrast, you can go 60. So I work in ranges of 20 when it comes to opacity. Some people work in ranges of 10, so they go 40, 50, or 60. Some people do it in 5s, like 40, 45, 50, whatever you want to do. But I would normally work in 20s because I find that 40% normally looks pretty good for me. I like the lighter aspects of contrast and the lighter opacities. But you might find that if you're more of a heavier contrast kind of person, you stick it at 60. It depends upon what you want to do. So that's pretty much the effect. So guys, another issue that some people can run into is if they want to add multiple characters to this design. So I went ahead and just simulated that with the same character, but you're seeing this sort of weird, how do I want to call it? Like a weird sort of blending between the transparencies because they're all different opacities. It can be fixed. It's not an easy way to fix it, but it can be fixed so that way you can have multiple characters in this background without having too many issues. So what we need to do is find our first layer, which is layer 2 here, grab our magic wand, select all around, and select inverse. I'm going to go up to edit, fill, color, and we'll make sure our color is set to the same as our background. Press OK. Press OK again. Alright, and that's going to fill that in. And I made a mistake. I added it to the wrong layer. Layer, new layer. There we go. And then we're going to do fill. Mistakes were made, but we're okay. So yeah, hit OK. And now we can see that we're not getting that blending coming through. We're not seeing this character in the background. We're not seeing this character in the background. We're just seeing this character in the foreground without any issues because we have this layer filled in the back, which makes it really nice. So anyways, guys, that is the tutorial for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have ways to improve this design, please let me know. I will always be open in the comments section as well as on Twitter and any other place that you can find me. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.